Hey everybody, what's up? So, I have had more. Where am I looking? I'm looking on that thing. Okay, I've had more messages lately from people that are going years and years and years of thinking that they have HIV, and it's kind of an epidemic. I cannot believe how many people write to me, how many people write to me and tell me that they waited years and years to get tested and they were certain they had it and they were living their life as if they had it, and like actually like not having relationships or like not having sex with their partner anymore because they're so certain they have it, and then they're negative when they test and they actually can't even believe it that they'd gone like some people like 20 years. I mean, it's nuts. So I just wanted to read this story, kind of because she said I could if I wanted to, and I thought, well, why not? I will. So it's anonymous, but it's a female, and she says, "Hi Jennifer, I wanted to let you know you're an inspiration, and I'd like to share my HIV story with you, and you can share it on your channel if you want to. I'm a 25-year-old and pregnant for the first time. When I was 16 and 17, around there, I guess, I was having reckless vaginal and anal sex with two guys of unknown status. They both seemed to be high risk: alcohol, drug users, promiscuous, and they were not circumcised. In winter of 2011, I started to get swelling lymph nodes in my neck and groin, low grade fever that wouldn't go away, headaches, fatigue, depressed, and the phantom smell of cigarettes. I knew I had to be seroconverting to the virus. Shortly after, so after you contract the virus, about 2 weeks later, typically people go through something called seroconversion, and that's when the virus is basically moving into your body and starting to replicate. And flu symptoms are really common at that time. I didn't really have that. I had the headache, and like I from what I've been told, that the virus starts basically in your digestive system. So like a lot of people get like digestive issues. So I had like the my esophagus was really bothering me. It really was like aching. So, anyways, she says, shortly after that, I knew I had it, but never wanted to test. She just says, shortly after that, I knew I had it. That was it. I knew I had it, but never wanted to test because I was a minor and didn't want to tell my parents. Fast forward a few months later, I met an amazing guy who is now my husband. We use protection always to avoid pregnancies and STDs. After a year of being in the relationship, he no longer wanted to use condoms. Well, not a surprise, you're married. And I told him we have to because I have HIV. And after a year, oh no, and I didn't want to transmit it to him. So he said he didn't care and he didn't think I had it since, she says, and doesn't think I have since I got tested and there's no proof. Okay, so I guess she had tested. But anyways, he said he doesn't care and doesn't think I have since I never got tested and there's no proof. Okay, since she never tested and there's no proof. So he was like, you probably don't have it. Okay, the tough guy that he is, he won the argument and we had unprotected sex. Shortly after, it just says shortly after, got sick with flu in the summer and had a severe infection in his penis. He went to see a doctor and tested for all STDs, including HIV. His test turned out to be negative, so we were both relieved. Soon after, I read that it can take up to 6 months to test positive for HIV. I don't know why they put that anywhere because I don't know anyone who's had that happen to them. Like basically at 2 weeks, if you're not positive at that point, there's the chances of turning out to be a positive within the 2 week to 12 week window is not high. It's very low. So the 6 month thing, I don't ever. That's crazy to me. I don't even know why they tell people that. So, anyways, it just does not hide for 6 months. Okay, to test positive for HIV, and told him that the negative test doesn't count because he didn't listen to me. Wait, hold on. His test turned out to be negative, so we both relieved. Soon after that, I read that it can take up to 6 months to test positive for HIV, and I told him that the negative test doesn't count, but he didn't listen to me. Okay, fast forward 8 years later. Sorry, I'm reading this. It's one giant paragraph. It's my fault because that's how I copied it over. Fast forward to 8 years later, I got pregnant and knew I had to acknowledge my status and start ARVs to prevent transmission to my baby. 8 years later. So for 8 years, she thinks she's HIV positive. I looked up infectious disease doctors in the area and looked up HIV programs, programs like an assistance. I live in Washington, D.C., where there is a huge HIV population and plenty of resources to use. Resources, I think she meant. I prepared myself for all of this while watching your videos. Maria HIV Mejia, who I've watched since my initial infection in 2010, and looked up many more YouTubers who are HIV positive and how they are handling the virus. Last week on 4/10/19, April 10th, I had my first prenatal checkup and hi Sky, and bawled my eyes out to the doctor that I am HIV positive but never diagnosed. She was surprised to hear that and said chances are so low since it was 8 years ago when I thought I got it. Finally, they drew blood for HIV and I never got a call back. During this wait time, I was in bed Googling and preparing myself for positive results and watching your videos for enlightenment. That's nice. Today is a week after my first appointment and I came to my second appointment. During this appointment, my blood pressure was so high, and they asked me why. I told them because I needed to know my results. The nurse came in and said there was no results and that I'm pregnant. Then they took me to the lab to draw my blood for genetic disorders and other stuff. I said, don't test for HIV because I'm still waiting on my results. And the doctor from last time, no, wait, sorry. God, where was I? I just scrolled it up. Waiting for my results. And the doctor said, we always have your results. And the doctor said, well, I think she meant to say we already have your results. She put always. We already have your results, and it's negative. I cried in front of everyone since the lab door was open, and everyone can hear. I said, so I don't have HIV while bawling my eyes out. She got me tissues and said, we didn't think this was your concern. We didn't think this was your concern. This is a different doctor from last time, so they didn't note down that it was my concern. Only the first doctor knew it was my concern. I said, I can't believe it can I can't believe it can show me, and I don't know, sorry. I said, I can't believe it can show me, and she took the paper out. Oh, okay. She said, I can't believe it. Okay, got it. There's no commas. I'm sorry. Can you show me? And she took the paper out and said, non-reactive. The word said non-reactive. After 8 years of darkness and depression and fear, this was the best news I had ever gotten in my life. I cried of joy and happiness, and it was embarrassing that people heard me and saw me. It's insane how anxiety can really mess up your life more than any disease. Anxiety was killing me from the inside out because I was certain I had this and I was prepared. But what I was most worried about was infecting my partner. I couldn't ever live with the guilt of infecting him. I cannot believe this news, and I'm in disbelief and happiness at the same time. Since it's been so long that I thought I had it, it will take a while for this fear and anxiety to wear out of my system. So true. Good point. Very true, because you're just so used to always having that train of thought. I hope this hasn't affected my baby in any way. I'm 10 weeks pregnant. Your baby's going to be fine. And he looked great in the sonogram. I just hope he is okay. He's going to be fine. And after all this stress, fear, and depression I've been having these past couple months. I thought I had more. I think maybe I don't have the end of the message there. Anyways, so happy for her that she's negative, and it's a lot of people just spend a lot of time worrying without testing. They're just so afraid to test because they're so certain that they have it. But if you even look up HIV on the internet, you Google it, and you'll see that it's considered a rare condition. It's not common. It's not like cancer or something. It's not common. And you have to look at risk groups and then really realize how rare it is. What happened to me is not common. Like, I can't go around finding other women that have HIV that I know. It just doesn't happen. It's like very, very uncommon. So that's why I put together my group too, so I could find some women that had it. Because it's not like herpes or, I don't know, can't think of another example where you'd want to confide in somebody that you think might have it also, because HIV just isn't that prevalent for my demographic for sure. So yeah, look up risk groups for sure, high risk, and yes?
Hi. Are you making a video?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to use the bathroom.
There's a bathroom on that right over there.
Can you just, Or can you cut this out? Or
I didn't want to edit. I just wanted to upload the whole thing.
you're gonna have to edit at least a little bit.
I'm not editing this. I'm just uploading it. Forget it. Anyways, go to the doctor and test, and try to keep that anxiety down because, there's probably a very good chance that you're negative. I really, honestly, I still say it to this day. All these letters that I get, and messages about anxiety and just freaking out about it, I haven't had any of those people ever come back and be positive. And I know if you're watching this and you think you're gonna be like, I'm the one that's gonna be that one though. There's gonna be that one person that's gonna come back and tell you that they ended up positive. It's gonna be me. You're not the one. And that's the other thing. Everybody always thinks they're the one. Everybody thinks they're that 1% or whatever or whatever percentage. Everybody always thinks that they're going to be this really unlucky person. It's funny. A lot of people think that. But anyways, and then again, if you are positive, look at how I live my life. Look at how Maria lives her life. Look at how Rafe lives his life. Rafe Darazi, he's another HIV positive YouTuber. And my friend Brenda Emily is going to be doing some YouTube videos soon. Just look at how we all live our lives. We live normal lives. The medication today is just so far from where it used to be, and we're I was gonna say horny. We're normal, healthy people. So horny too, maybe. Anyways, yeah, we have great lives. We're all living really normal lives. So, anyways, just hang tight, do that test, and don't freak out. Okay, guys. All right. See you guys. Until next time. Yeah, comment, like, subscribe. I hate saying that. It's so generic. And hey, if you're interested in supporting my channel, please go to my website, and I have a working link there for donations. I appreciate any help that you want to give me. All right, guys. Good night. Bye.